And a very good afternoon, everyone. Jeremy here, quantstrategic.com.sg with a market recap for the S&P 500 for the month ending of March as well as the beginning of April. And yes, S&P 500, we have broken 4,000 on the 1st of April 2021 on a Thursday. All right, so we broke through 4,000 and also broke through the daily super trend chart at the level of 4011 as mentioned in my blog. And we're going to start off the analysis same with the monthly charts, the long-term perspective of the S&P 500. As you can see on the long-term charts, S&P 500 has been a totally bullish picture since 2010. And we have actually had a very nice long signal on the 1st of December last year. And we are now the fifth month into this bullish rally and breakout on the monthly chart. That level was at 3654, and that happened in December. And currently, we have closed at 4038. Just take note that the pivot support is now at 3221, and the Tenkan fast moving average line at support at 3631. Continuing with the weekly charts, the medium-term outlook, nothing much has changed. The weekly charts is as steady as a rock, as you can see, since its long signal at 3168 on the 1st of June 2020. We have been getting higher highs and higher lows all the way, and most importantly, we have been staying above a very bullish Tenkan line, this yellow line here, at 3860 all the way up to its close at 4038 last week. And the pivot support on a weekly basis has been raised to 3616. So this is the daily chart of the S&P 500, and I want to recap because what is significant is that the first breakout since the pandemic low that happened in February last year at the low of 2179. The first buy signal was actually issued on the 29th of April. That is almost 1 year anniversary since the pandemic lows. And if you had followed the long-term as well as the medium-term charts in terms of bullishness and bought all the lows in the daily chart based on the 11th of June, 23rd of October, and so on and so forth, and essentially held on after the buy signal was issued. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 buy signals in all over the past 12 months. You would have made quite a bit of profits over the past 12 months just using the Ichimoku cloud as a guide. So if you notice, price action has always bounced off the cloud and continue to make higher highs for the past 12 months. That's the first observation. The Ichimoku cloud is indeed a very good indicator for you to know whether the stock or the equity is trending upwards or downwards. And number two is that if you had followed the super trend system, they would have issued you 6 long signals to confirm your buys. And you can use a shorter time frame like the 4-hourly or the 1-hourly to actually take your profits before we hit the sell signals that were issued when they hit the lows at each cycle. Another point that I want you to note is that every cycle for the past 12 months has been quite coincidentally either 31 days or a maximum of 60 days after the signal was issued. So if you had held on to your position, especially if you were a swing trader in any of the stocks under the S&P 500, you do not really need to trade the S&P 500. But if you have just used the S&P 500 as a guide and held your particular equity that's listed under the S&P 500 for the full 30 days, your profits would have been in line with what the S&P 500 is showing. All right, so 1 year anniversary of the S&P 500, the super trend indicator together with the Ichimoku cloud has been a very good guide for the bullishness in the short term based on the 1-day charts, which I think most people are using in order to see and select their charts. So zooming in on the dailies chart, you have a long signal at 4012 on the 1st of April, April Fool's Day. and the target will be new all-time high. So we close at 4038. Look at the Fibonacci levels, which I've posted in my blog for the next target to be hit, and you should be able to gauge the risk as well as the reward factor for this particular trade if you go in at this juncture. But take note that the average time for a uptrend cycle has always been about 30 days to about 60 days for your long signal to go. So coming to the 4-hourly chart, a subset of the short-term indicators. If you notice that the daily charts were issued a signal was on the 1st of April. However, the 4-hourly actually gave a long signal at 3950, a much better entry position on the 27th of March 2021. So that could have been your entry if you were a swing trader, and it would have lasted you almost a week, 5 days worth of uh, uptrend, which will put you in good stead. And for those of you who are wondering, if you use a 4-hourly, you could have entered the trade earlier, 4 days earlier to be precise. How about using lower time frames like the 3 hours, the 1 hour, or the 30 minutes? All right, this conversation, I will leave it between us. Contact me anytime to actually have an insight on how you can actually day trade or swing trade using smaller time frames. So essentially, I'm using the monthly, the weekly, the dailies, and the 4-hourly charts for you to have an overall eagle bird's eye view of the S&P 500. So 12 months after the pandemic hit and we hit that low of about 2,200, the S&P 500 is now at 4,000. All right. So that is a fantastic, almost 80% upswing from the lows all the way to the all-time close or all-time high close at 4038 last Friday. It has indeed been a very fantastic journey for the past year. And if you had kept on with the long-term analysis, the medium-term analysis based on the monthly and the weekly charts, and take your signals maybe on the 4-hourly charts, you would have got in at very good positions and made quite a good significant profits. Another thing why I like to actually cover the S&P 500 because it sets the tone and tells you the wind direction for you to go into other stocks in the S&P 500, like tech stocks as well as your uh, big Dow components, because all of them take the lead of the mother indexes. All right. So I have a blog that's running. So for most of you who know, please do reference the blog and have a look at the levels which I have discussed right now. The current levels that you want to watch holistically is the daily's chart. The pivot is at 3891. As long as 3891 holds, this rally will continue on the daily's chart. And on the monthly and the weekly chart, it will take quite a bit of a significant black swan event for levels of 3221 as well as 3616 to break. All right, never say never. However, the charts is a screenshot, a guide for you to see whether you're bullish or bearish on every stocks. All right, have a good rest of the weekend. Remember to click a like and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you find this meaningful to you, and watch the next video that I'll be publishing on the STI, the Straits Times Index.